Today we're going to do the part number RK2000, which is your Suburban, Tahoe, and Avalanche trailing arm kit and sway bar relocation kit. This came from R&D on our own truck, and we wanted to ride good and to handle good. So this is what we did, and we're going to go in and do a close-up on the trailing arm kit that's so important to the way the truck rides, your pinion angle, the whole bit. That you need to take care of that, and it's a simple bracket. It's pretty easy to put on. And then the most misunderstood part to this kit is the sway bar kit. And the sway bar, we have to have the sway bar work correctly, but also we can't have it hitting the pan hard rod bracket. If it hits pan hard rod bracket, it's going to give you a terrible ride, and it's going to present some handling problems, which we for sure don't want. It's a fairly easy installation. The whole installation take a couple hours, and your Tahoe or Suburban or Avalanche will finally handle the way it should. This is your trailing arm bracket. You can see we relocated the lower trailing arm. That's completely bound up. This truck was lowered 5 inches in the rear. Some of the later model ones lower 4 inches in the rear. You'll need this trailing arm bracket to unbind the lower trailing arm. It's a simple bolt-on. You don't have to drill any holes. Comes with all the nuts and bolts, and this is a simple bracket. And you put that on, it'll start riding the way it should. And then the second most important is the sway bar bracket. The sway bar needs to be taken care of. It'll ride like it did original. If you take care of this, what we had to do is we had to relocate this D-link right here, the original part, from this hole to this hole. We had to drill one hole. The other one is an existing hole, and put a nut and bolt through the D-link and push the sway bar over. You notice the sway bar is a little bit offset now because we come over here, and this is the problem where unless you move it over, you're going to be right here on your sway bar, which is going to hit whenever you hit a bump. Sway bar is going to hit, and you could have a control problem, but for sure it'll ride terrible. And so what we've done is when we push this sway bar over, we're just barely missing this bracket here. Now the sway bar will have full swing, and the sway bar will move correctly. So we're going to go ahead and put the end links on, and the end links look a little funny, but they work really, really well. And this is what you want to do to your sway bar to get it work correctly. The stock sway bar end links are way, way, way too long, and your sway bar won't function at all. So we're going to bring Jose in here, and he's going to bolt these brackets on. One of the most important things in the bracket is not to over tighten the urethane bushings. And so we're going to grease these up really good. And you'll see the reason for that when we go to tighten these things down. You will see the grease move. And when this grease moves, when you tighten it down, and we'll do a close-up of this, Okay, so we have the bolts mounted loosely. We've greased the end link, and we've inserted the bolts. And now when we tighten it down, we're just going to snug it down. The kit will come with 2 new nylock bolts and 2 original bolts you reuse. Today we're just going to go ahead, because we have plenty of bolts, we're just going to put new bolts in it. And as soon as we start making contact with the bushing, we're going to see that grease a little bit as we tighten it up. And we have nylocks, so we don't need to. Now we should be able to see the grease poke out as we tighten this thing. We should see the grease deform a little bit, and that's all we need to tighten it. Yeah, these are common bolts. They're half 13 by 2 3/4, which is very, very standard. And we just want to kiss those up and see the grease deform a little bit, and you know they're tight enough. That's all you need to do. And we'll do the other one the same way. We're going to use plenty of grease, and that grease is going to give us an indication that we're tightened. Again, we just want to kiss against the bushings. We do not want to put pressure on the bushings. Make sure you got good grease on there so you can see the you'll see the grease pop out when you tighten it. It'll compress that grease a little bit. And it's mostly just on the bushing on the inside. Yeah, just like that. You can always wipe grease off. See the grease pull a little bit? The top one's not going to do because it's in a receiver. Your top one's just going to need to be snugged up. There we are. Now the sway bar will work. Okay, so now we got the sway bar on. It's on with our half 13, 2 3/4 with a nylock, so we could just snug up the bushings. We don't want to put pressure on the bushings, or at least not a lot of pressure, 1, 2, 3 pounds of pressure, just to stop the end play. And we want these to move nice and freely. The top is in a receiver. And again, we want to tighten that receiver just so it just kisses the bushings. And now the sway bar It isn't a bunch, but it clears this panhard rod bracket, which won't hurt your ride, and it'll make the sway bar be able to work, and it's also parallel. So now your sway bar will work, your lower trailing arm will work, and you will have a much, much better ride.